Good morning, everyone. My name is Andrew Hall. This is the Disappointed Cat Morning Show. We're going to talk about news, and we're going to talk about unions today. We're going to talk about Starbucks coffee. I have my cup of coffee. We're going to be talking about Jehovah's Witnesses in the trouble bubble in Norway. And we're going to talk about a dude who was trying to melt snow in his yard with a flamethrower, and somehow that went sideways. And when I say sideways, I mean he, torched his house and the fire department had to come. Probably not the best way for snow removal, a flamethrower, everyone. Okay. I don't know what your favorite religion is. Speaking as someone who's secular, I think that there's something to be said for every faith, right? I think the Mormons, the Church of Latter-day Saints, they have the best afterlife, deal. Because if you're good, you get your own planet. So that's a pretty good deal. I do have a soft spot for Jehovah's Witnesses, and that's because, as I've said many times on this channel, they are monotheists. They are not Trinitarians. They're not your typical everyday garden variety Trinitarians that believe that God, the Father, the Spirit, God, the Holy Spirit, and Jesus are all of the same substance. Jehovah's Witnesses, monotheist. They just believe God, and then Jesus is separate from God. That's how I understand it. It's been explained to me a number of times. But it doesn't mean that they don't do really bad and evil things, those Jehovah's Witnesses. And they are in trouble with Norway. Norway will no longer fund the Jehovah's Witnesses. A government official cited the Jehovah's Witnesses' exclusionary policies as justification for denying them state aid. Now, you're going to find that surprising, because we know that the Scandinavian countries, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, is Finland considered a Scandinavian country? Sometimes I see it lumped in there. Most of the times I don't. I believe the big three Scandinavian countries, Norway, Sweden, Denmark. But we know the Nordic countries aren't that religious, right? The number of nuns and atheists and agnostics is pretty high in those countries. But yes, Norway does fund faith. Norway's odd relationship with religion. Links in the description below, everyone. Norway, which has a national church, but no longer has a national religion. I want to put a question mark there, is one of those countries where religion is literally supported by taxpayers. The more members you have, the more money your preferred religious or humanist organization receives. Any quote unquote religious group with 50 registered members are allowed to apply for state subsidies, and more than 800 groups receive that kind of funding, I believe. And this is from the Haven't Meta, the Friendly Atheist. He's one of our Only Sky contributors on that great site, Only Sky, that I'm part of. So this is why the Jehovah's Witnesses are in trouble with the government of Norway, at least some of the reasons. Let's just take a look at them. And believe it or not, the amount of money that Jehovah's Witnesses get, the church gets in Norway, is not a small amount of money. It's something like $2 million a year. All right, so why are the Jehovah's Witnesses in Norway in trouble? The witnesses engage in the practice of disfellowshipping. That means former JWs who leave the faith are effectively excommunicated. Members are told not to have any interactions with them. The idea here is that the former members will get so lonely or depressed that they'll eventually come crawling back. There's no shortage of families that have been torn apart because of this. The state administrator wrote that Norwegian law requires all religions that receive government subsidies to practice a, quote, right to free withdrawal, unquote. If there's a serious obstacle to leaving a religion, that's arguably a violation of the law. Disfellowshipping, the administrator wrote, can cause members to feel pressured to remain in the faith community. Ladies and gentlemen and small furry animals from Alpha Centauri, I'm just going to paraphrase Vladimir Lenin. Lenin pointed out that the only way that you can keep an authoritarian system running is by terror and fear. Last time I checked, disfellowshipping is considered, like an act of terror. That's what I would say. It's an act of terror. We're going to cut you away from your family, your friends, your relatives, maybe even your job, right? That would be an act of terror. I would say that just the concept of hell itself, of eternal punishment, that's an act of terror that churches inflict upon the congruence. But let's go to the other reason. Let's go to the next reason that the Jehovah's Witnesses are in trouble in Norway. Let's see. A similar policy, this is the second reason, by the way, a similar policy applies to children. If a child in a JW family makes it a habit to break the moral standards of the Bible and does not repent, the witnesses teach they are to be treated as pariahs. That means a young teenager, baptized or not, who quits the religion is subject to exclusion from religious members. While their immediate families don't have to kick them out of the house, the state administrator said the witnesses believe that the child can no longer have contact with other close family, including grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, or friends. That puts pressure on the child to remain in the fold, a violation of their own rights under the law. Quote, we consider social isolation as a form of punishment against the child. Yes, if you're cutting your child off from his grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and friends, if that isn't at least one of the definitions, dictionary definitions of child abuse, I do not know what is. Let's see if there's another panel here. Is there another panel? I don't think so. I think that that's it. Yeah, so it's about $2 million or so that the church gets every year that they're not going to be getting. And of course, there are conservatives in Norway who are up in arms about the tyranny of the government not funding the Jehovah's Witnesses. Maybe those same conservatives see the writing on the wall, because if the government in Norway is saying, hey, you can't be abusive to your people, maybe it's only a matter of time before other faiths stop getting cash. I hope you're doing well. I'm going to check out the chat. If you're watching on Twitter or on Facebook, you'll see that I'm interacting with the chat here on YouTube. If you want to join the chat, hey, come on over to the Laughing in Disbelief channel on YouTube. I'm going to hit the button, see what folks are up to. What's up, KCA Randy? Is Imaginary God here? Praise the Lord. It's not Thursday. It's Tears Day. I think I'm pronouncing that right, because we know that a lot of the days of the week are named after Nordic gods, but I'll let it go. What's up, Kendra? Norway says no way. Yes, I saw what you did there, Big Zebra. I saw what you did there. The only way to win. That's right. There are some games, if we're going to talk about game theory here for a minute, there are some games that you can only win by not playing those games. And, as I'm trying to educate myself more about mathematics, I think game theory is going to have to be one of those things. I'm going to have to watch a bunch of videos and read a bunch of books about. Maybe I'll have some people on the channel try to explain things to me, like math things. Thank you, Tobin. Tobin pointed out that this show and the next show at 9:30, he pointed out that they were scheduled at the same time. So I had to change things. Saying, what? You're new here and you don't know about the second show? The second show starts at 9:30. This show runs until 9:25. And the second show is just an open room where we talk about anything you want to talk about. It's for atheists, progressives, Democrats, leftists, and the link is in the description below to be on the panel. I seem awfully coherent today, don't I? It must be that I got a good night's sleep. Yesterday was rough because I was up at 3 o'clock. 4 o'clock, I was up early. Bringing the girlfriend to the airport. She is safely in Mexico. We chatted. All right, defund religion. I see what, yeah, imaginary God. I'm with you on that. All right. What are we going to talk about next? I'm going to pull out the halftime tummy rub show early, right? We're a little early for the halftime tummy rub show. It's a nice way to gather and it's about a cat. Who doesn't like cats? It's a cat on a snowboard, everyone. And how does that not put a smile on your face? And if it doesn't put a smile on your face, maybe you don't have a soul. Maybe. News and meows. Let's talk about the industrial society and its future. Well, let's talk about unions and Starbucks. We talked about that Starbucks, that small, humble Starbucks in Buffalo, getting a union, about a month or two ago. And some people were saying, why are you so excited about one Starbucks, or maybe 2 or 3 Starbucks? What's up, Chris Black? Getting a union. Why? Because it is inertia. The dominoes start falling. And this next story is going to talk about unions and about Starbucks. Yes, everyone. They tried to union bust. They were unsuccessful. And now how many? Wow. Starbucks union push spreads to 54 stores in 19 states. And if you're in the Boston area, Pavement Coffee, they're already unionized. They have a couple of stores here in the Boston area. Pavement, good coffee place, good coffee company, great coffee. In the coming weeks, another potentially groundbreaking union push will proceed at Amazon. Oh, yes. Not only is Starbucks getting more unions, but so is Amazon. That makes me feel good inside. Where thousands of Alabama warehouse workers will re-vote in unionization, and their colleagues in Staten Island may hold their own union election. At Starbucks, the pro-union workers have advocated for better staffing, training, and pay, seeking a direct line to company management. Buffalo workers have joined Workers United, affiliated with the massive Service Employees International Union. Contract negotiations present the next challenges for the labor group, as collective bargaining agreements can take months to reach. In Canada is going to show us up here, everyone here in the States. In Canada, Starbucks workers reached a 3-year contract with the company in June 2021 after voting to join the United Steelworkers in August 2020. I don't care what union you have to join, a steelworkers union, if you have to join a United League of Supervillains or superheroes, or the Justice League to get your union going. Just do it. And yes, congratulations. Here's another panel about the story. Employees at 54 stores in 19 states are pursuing union elections. According to organizers, 15 of the stores joined the union drive on Monday, petitioning the federal labor officials to set a vote. The filing coincides with the start of a contract negotiation between Starbucks and the unionized workers in Buffalo. Last month, Starbucks workers at 3 New York stores held union elections. Majority voted in favor for 2 of the 3 locations, unionizing 64 workers. Now, some 30 Starbucks workers in Mesa, Arizona are wrapping up their own union election by mail. Employees at 3 more Buffalo area locations began voting this week. It's all positive because some of you are probably old enough to remember the time that unions were a thing here in the States, right? Now, I'm not saying correlation equals causation. However, strong unions did help keep the middle class intact. That's all I'm saying. And I think that there has to be some peer-reviewed research to show the beneficial effects of unions for blue-collar workers. We should do a whole show on that. We should get a union organizer, and we should just talk about the beneficial effects of unions. Yes, I do not order. I do not. I want to talk about this for a second. Does bullying count as natural selection? Only if you don't really understand natural selection. I just want to say that typically it is survival of, to boil it down to a 3rd grade, me explaining it to a 3rd grader level, it is natural selection. Survival of the fittest is oftentimes survival of the friendliest. So people who are able to form cliques, who are able to join forces with other people, your friends, your neighbors, your relatives, and cooperate with each other, that typically as a much more successful way of going about your business on a personal level than going around bullying. Though there are some beneficial effects of bullying too, but not as much as being friendly, to tell you the truth. Not as much as being friendly. You can understand Canadian shows when they have subtitles. Really? Really? The language of a happy, healthy, functional government might be a little alien to our ears here in the States. You know, I'm not a big fan of the $5 cup of coffee. I do. There is here in Boston, in South Boston, there's Doughboys. I can get a decent cup of coffee for $1.90, not including tax, and a great donut too. What is this? This is all just pitching great Boston businesses this morning. That's what this is. So Starbucks, congratulations. Amazon, my heart's, because of course in Europe, Amazon's already unionized. It's just the fact that maybe the United States of America is maybe 10, 20, 100 years behind in terms of workers' rights. All right, what's the next story? Blowing through the news this morning. Man, homeowner using flamethrower to melt snow sets house ablaze, Connecticut officials say. What's the odds? What are the odds that he's an anti-masker, a supporter of Donald J. Trump, a fan of Elon Musk? Because, Elon Musk had that flamethrower he developed. I wonder what the over-under is. What are the chances are? I'm just going to guess. And here's the house damage, too. Here's a picture. An exterior wall was in flames when firefighters arrived, but it was, quote unquote, quickly extinguished, and the home was saved, according to the Post. Yes, the home was saved. Doesn't seem to be a lot of snow on the ground. Maybe the flamethrower was super effective, or maybe there wasn't a lot of snow to begin with. I don't know. A Connecticut homeowner accidentally set their house ablaze while trying to thaw their property with a flamethrower. So he was just trying to thaw it. That's all, everyone. According to fire officials in the town of Seymour, firefighters responded to the scene of a house fire after 5:30 p.m. on Saturday, January 29th, officials said in a Facebook post. On the way, dispatch learned that the owner had been using a flamethrower to melt ice and snow and accidentally ignited the side of the home. And this is why we have directions and warnings, maybe warnings, I don't know, at least directions on toothbrushes. Don't do stupid stuff with fire. Don't do stupid stuff with common everyday things. Every once in a while, I just want to stop someone on the street and just ask them, so do you think we're just too stupid to survive, as a species in 10, 20, 30 years? Do you think we're going to hit a level of peak stupid? I guess I'm just asking you, everyone out there in the audience, so not all of us are insanely stupid, but will that bottom 30%? Because let's face it, it's that bottom 30% that makes trouble for a lot of us. Are they going to be the ones that are going to flamethrow the house of humanity? I don't know. I hope not. Checking out the chat. Wow, going through the show really fast. Eden's, yes. What's up? Trial and error. Well, I think there's a lot of error to those trials when it involves a flamethrower melting, trying to de-thaw your property. I think there's more error than trial there. Oh, yeah, donut. That's right. I've been thinking about donuts this morning. This is a good question, Big Zebra. Is this fire covered by the idiot's home insurance? I don't know if you can buy idiot insurance. All right, hear me out. If you could buy idiot insurance, I would say that most idiots wouldn't buy it because they do not recognize that they are idiots. Only the self-aware non-idiots, or maybe the self-aware idiots, there are some, would actually buy idiot insurance. I would buy idiot insurance. I don't know if I'm a self-aware idiot or I'm not a dumb person who realizes the limitations of their intelligence, but I would buy idiot insurance, not even a question. I don't know if anybody else would. All right, we're heading down to the end of the show. Everyone, no ads on this channel. Have you noticed there's no ads on this channel? No ads on this channel. And when I do, I'm back to doing interviews. Did you? Maybe y'all don't know that, but I can tell you this. I'm back to doing interviews. I got a couple of people lined up. It's going to be pretty fun. It's going to be pretty exciting. Jonathan M.S. Pierce has agreed to come on. He's only Sky. He did the blog, The Tippling Philosopher. We're going to talk about one of his books. I don't even know which book yet. The man just produces so much material. And we're going to talk about Only Sky, and we're going to talk about the great stuff. I was going to use the word groovy. The word groovy. What's wrong with me? Going on over at Only Sky. John Hudson. Did somebody say Flamethrower? Yes, John Hudson. Somebody did say Flamethrower. I'm going to show the picture of the damage since John Hudson may not have seen it. This was the damage. He was thawing property. No, it wasn't in Texas or Florida. It wasn't a Florida man story. It was actually in Connecticut. See, it was in Connecticut. That's where the gentleman burned his own house. Weird. So once again, there's no ads on this channel. This is all funded. Whatever I do here is funded by your good graces, by super chats, by YouTube members, by patrons, all that great stuff. I'm going to throw down a video right now, and that video will be of a cat. It's going to be a quick video. I hope you enjoy it. And it's a good way to top off to end. We're, towards ending the show. I've never used a harness like that to cut a cat's nails. Biscuit, my cat, is exceptionally cool and pretty chill about getting her nails cut. But if your cat's it could be useful. I don't know, everyone. Typically what happens when I cut my cat's nails, well, my girlfriend and I do, I wrap up Biscuit in a blanket, and the girlfriend efficiently cuts the cat's nails. But if you're doing it alone, maybe using the harness works. I don't know. Check out the chat one more time before. Maybe you moved from Florida or Texas. Good question. Good point there, theoretically. Oh, wow. I hadn't thought about that. Imaginary God. Flamethrowers are great at defrosting churches. That's a pro tip, everyone. Okay, so I'll see you at 9:30. I'm going to drop the thank you video for YouTube members and supporters. I'll see you, like I said, at 9:30. Take care, everyone. And we're doing the same crazy thing tomorrow, too, by the way. I just want to point out, on Friday, I'm going into work early, so I'm doing the show at 7 a.m. Eastern. Wow, that's early. 7 a.m. Eastern on Friday. Check it out. I'll see you at 9:30.